Hey Sean, I'm starting on your watch. I just popped your bezel off. You got your click spring and bezel over there. I don't know if I'll be able to make the bezel action any better due to the fact that it doesn't appear that there's anything wrong. It just might be the way that the bezel is functioning. I don't know. I'll check it out. I'll relube your gasket, see what happens, but that's not my concern. My concern is that you have this aftermarket caseback on here, display caseback, and I don't know if you can see this, but you literally, it's not even touching the case. The gasket's just sitting right in there. You can see the gasket. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit more. So you can see that the caseback's not even sitting down, and the gasket's like literally right there, just sitting in there, which means that this caseback isn't even sealing this watch up. The reason is that I'm going to assume that when you bought this, you purchased it for the NH36 movement, which means that the caseback has a taller threads or a spacer on the end of the threads. That's meant to be used with an aftermarket NH36 movement that's put into a mod or a ground up build and has the gray dial holder, which is thinner. The spacer on the caseback would be used to take up the thinner, profile of the dial holder and allow the caseback to, screw down all the way onto it to hold the movement in place. Being that this is an OEM movement, 4R35, it has the black dial holders, which is taller, which means that you would actually have needed the caseback for a 7S26 movement with the smaller threads, or meant for the black dial holder. So this caseback that you've got on here is actually compromising the water resistance of your watch. And I don't know if you've taken this into any water or not. If you have, it has to have gotten water in there, because literally the gasket's right there. It's not sealed down on the gasket, so that means that the water would have gone into the threads and worked its way down. In fact, I wonder if I can pop this off. Let me see if I can unscrew this with the ball. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this thing wasn't even tight, dude. So let's see here if I can see if there's any hazing in here at all. So, number one, I can see that this is the caseback for the NH36, because I can see it's got the little spacer at the end of the threads there. So that's the wrong caseback. And see here, let me look at this under my I can see it's got salt from your wrist past the gasket. Here, you can see that there's actually salt past the gasket. That should never happen. I don't know. The movement has to have had some sort of condensation in there if it's allowing salt past there, but if it did any damage or not, I don't know. I'll have to put it on the time grapher and see. In fact, I can do that right now. Let's see here. That'll tell me, because basically if it's running bad, that'll tell me or not. Let me wind it up. Let me put this down real quick. Put this on here. Sorry, the camera's all messy. I only have two hands. That makes it a little difficult. Oh. Okay, so it looks like the movement's running okay. So you have gotten lucky in the sense that it hasn't done any damage to the movement with any moisture or salt or anything that's made its way into there as of yet. So my recommendation to you would be to have me order you the proper Caseback and put that on there, or you can send me the stock Caseback and just put that on, which is what I would recommend. I mean, don't really need to see that movement. I mean, it's not like it's a, you know, elegantly beautiful movement to look at anyway. So why don't we do that? Why don't we have you send me the stock Caseback, and I'll put that back on with that, you know, clean the gasket up and clean all that salt out of there before it does any damage to your watch, because there's no point in having me put a new crystal in it if the watch isn't going to last that long. All right, thanks.